Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome to the Humble Servant Homestead. Today we are getting ready to plant our cabbage. It is that time to get them in the ground. And so right now, that's what we're gonna do. Gonna bring you guys along with us, do a little demonstration of how I go about planting these cabbage. If you see my previous video from last year, I have some head of cabbage that was humongous. Now this is a little bit different process that I'm doing it here in this particular bed, but I'm gonna use somewhat kind of the same method that I use with my expert gardener mix. I do have a little bit of foul manure in here. On the other side of the other bed, what I did, I put the raw chicken manure in and I tilled it in. So you know that was a lot of nitrogen for these cabbage and stuff like that. So to kind of substitute a little bit, I'm gonna still use my expert gardener mix in this area here and probably fertilize with the expert gardener mix as these cabbage grow. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is pretty much taking these cabbage out of the pack, and now we gotta watch it because they are hard to come out. So it's kind of like gotta give them a little wiggle there. And also this is my stick that I have, which is 2 foot long. I'm going with a wider space this year because last year I think I had them about the same length, but guess what? Those things grow so big. But we are definitely looking for that same progress we had last year this year. So I'm going to take y'all down here on the other side here. And so like I said, spacing, I'm going for 2 feet wide, and I'm just putting one there. I'm going to grab this expert garden mix. And we are going to get ready to start planting. Right. So what I did last year, pretty much I went ahead, get my hole, about a handful of expert gardener mix, put it in the hole, and then what I do, I went ahead and kind of work it in the soil. Okay, kind of aggravate the root ball just a little bit. Place it inside. And another thing, right here where you see these leaves at, I go ahead and put this cabbage, put this root ball in the cabbage all the way to where that the new leaves are starting to come out at. I put it all the way down. Okay, then I go ahead and cover it on up. Just kind of give it a little pat. Not too hard, just real nice and soft and gentle. Putting down a little bit of pressure on it just to kind of compact that root. All right, so we're gonna do a couple more here. And it also makes it a whole lot easy when you go ahead and lay all your plants out, so that way once you start planting, you can go ahead and move, rapid to get it done. know, you out here in this garden working, you know, time is big. So, handful of expert gardener mix, the whole, stir that up, lay it on in. And so what I'm gonna do when I get all this stuff here planted, I'm gonna go ahead and come back with water. And we're gonna water these in, and maybe say every other day, we'll come back out and we'll water. Now this compost that I have in here, it also has the wood chips and everything. So I'm just gonna scrape this back here, right here, so to kind of show you that moisture that this soil is holding. So that is very good, and that what that does for us, it kind of helps us to kind of ease off the watering just a little bit, and to come out here and know if these plants are thirsty and they need some water, we'll just go ahead and scrape this back here. And if it's, you know, looking kind of dry down there, not too moist, then we know, hey, we need to go ahead and put some water in. I'm gonna do one more of these red cabbage here. Okay, so now that we went ahead and planted everything in these rows, we planted some cabbage, Brussels sprout, broccoli, and so now what we're going to go ahead and do is water them in. All right, so I'm going to start at this end down here, work my way on up. Like I said, guys, I'm not going to give them too much water because this ground here is already nice and moist. So I'm not going to give them too much water, but just enough to go ahead and get those roots going. Okay, so now that I have them all watered in, you know, now it's just time. We just gotta wait until they start doing what they do, and that what they're gonna do is grow. You know, so I hope you all learned something from this video here today. And as always, I'm going to close it out. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. And if you like the content you guys got here today, throw that thumbs up, like, and subscribe.